if your loving husband Ted decided to buy you both your dream cottage in the Irish countryside, a home that's been around since the 1700s. You guys are still moving in and getting settled, fixing things, and hubby is working late at his psychiatric hospital, so you'll be spending the night alone. You decide to turn your night alone into a fun solo sleepover by setting up a tent in the living room. This country house is your happy place, and it's a place of solitude away from the city. It's very quiet and peaceful. So you're looking around for your cell phone and you can't seem to find it, so you go to your car to look for it. But as you're out at your car, something just doesn't feel right and you hear a bit of shuffling in the bushes, so you decide to run back inside as quickly as you can and shut the door. Again, something just doesn't feel right and you keep hearing weird sounds behind the door, so you start to approach the peek hole. All you can hear is rustling and scratching, so you open it. A scary looking man with a glass eye pops up out of nowhere. He's frantic and shaking and he keeps asking you to open up the door. He tells you desperately that you're in trouble, and when you went outside to your car, he saw someone run into the house behind you when you weren't looking. You're obviously very skeptical of this and it's terrifying, so you warn the guy, "My husband's gonna be home soon." The man just shakes his head. He says, "Your husband works nights at the hospital." Terrified and shocked, you back up and ask if the man is one of your husband's patients. The man just keeps shaking his head and keeps asking desperately, can you just open the door so he can come in and look around to make sure that there's nobody in there with you? How frantic he is and how he's moving is actually starting to make you believe what he's telling you. But you're still scared, so of course you're not going to let this guy in. You tell him, "Listen, I'm going to call the police." And shockingly, he says, "Good. Call them, please. I'll wait here while they come." But the reason why you went to your car in the first place is because you couldn't even find your cell phone. And so you have to now tell this guy that you don't have a cell phone. "If I open the door, what are you going to do?" you ask. "I'm just going to have a look around, see if there's anybody there, and then I'll leave." I mean, you can't be serious, right? Like, you didn't really see somebody come in here. "I'm telling you, I saw someone come in there after you. You are in danger," he says. You're terrified at this point, and you actually believe him. So you start to walk to the door to let him in. Now that is the opening scene and setup for an amazing Irish horror film from last year called Oddity. From here, the story follows Darcy Odello, a blind medium who is grieving the death of her sister in the opening. Nothing in this story is as it seems, and the story takes us to places we didn't imagine we'd go. Darcy is a clairvoyant and a medium, and she owns a mystic shop in town. Her sister's now widowed husband visits and delivers to her the glass eye of the man from the beginning of the film who had been recently murdered in his room. She's a medium, she's a reader of objects, and Ted is clearly very skeptical of this, and he's impatient to get away from her and out of this situation. He ends up telling Darcy that he has a new girlfriend who is living with him at the house now, and she's so shocked that he's able to move on so quickly. I mean, it had just hit a year, and he's already has another woman that he's moved into the house. It's all very weird, but she still decides to invite herself over anyway. And Ted agrees, but in one of those kind of, "yeah, I'll call you and let you know" type of things. After meeting with Ted, Darcy takes the eye and goes home, and she prepares herself for what she's about to see when she does her reading. She knows that she potentially may witness the murder of her very sister. As she touches the eye, visions come to her, and she sees what really happened. The next day, Ted is at the country house just before he's about to go to work with his new girlfriend Yana, and she's complaining about how frightened she feels in the house and how she believes Danny's spirit is still around. Darcy then shows up to the house unannounced with the delivery of a large and mysterious box. She seems to have come in peace, but then there's also a slight aggression to her, as though she's on some kind of a mission. Yana is extremely mean and hostile towards Darcy, seemingly frustrated that she can't escape the ex-wife's past. Yana doesn't like sleeping at the house alone, and she says she wants to go back to the city to her apartment, and Ted has to go to work, so they let Darcy know that she's going to be in the house alone, to which she says that's completely okay with her. She's completely okay being there alone. I found it so interesting how The more knowledge that someone like Darcy seems to have about the mystical and the occult, the more at peace she is, the more she's not afraid of anything really. So Danny goes to the trunk and finally reveals what gift she sent over to Ted and Yana. It's revealed to be a very disturbing and creepy life-size wooden golem. Danny informs Ted that it was a family heirloom and that her own mother would be happy that he has it now. So after this, Ted ends up heading to work, leaving Yana and Danny in the house alone. I'm gonna leave it there. If you've already seen this film, you know what happens. If you haven't seen this film, you should definitely check it out. This film has jump scares galore. It's about the occult. It makes you question what is real, what isn't, what do you believe, what don't you believe. It's suspenseful, it's weird, and it touches on a lot of different genres. This film primarily takes place in one location, and it really shows you how, as a filmmaker, limits don't stifle creativity, it can actually enhance it. I've watched this movie twice now, and it's just as spooky and suspenseful as the first viewing. If you have seen Oddity already, I would love to know what you guys thought of it. Did you enjoy it? What was your favorite part? Did anything surprise you? And if you haven't seen it yet, let me know if you plan on checking this one out, and then come back and let me know what you guys thought. Make sure you guys follow me for more film reviews and recommendations. Now, if you don't like spoilers, this is your opportunity to scroll ahead. But if you want to stay and you don't care, let's go. This movie is a lesson that you motherfuckers are going to stop putting your hands and feet on women, okay? Our ancestors are coming for that ass, okay? I love that this film really showed how sisters' love could transcend through time. And the sisters even had something that they kept saying to each other throughout the film: we are connected, which as twins, you know that twins oftentimes are said to have a special bond that regular siblings just don't have. They can feel each other's pain. They can feel what each other is going through. And you could see how Danny just was so crumbled by what happened to her sister. It's not enough that she was just grieving. The fact that she knew everything that happened, the fact that she was able to feel it and see it, it just took everything to a whole new level. And the way that Darcy went and killed the man that she thought had killed her sister just goes to show, keep your damn hands to yourself, or the ancestors will come for you in this life or the next. And how absolutely sick was this man that not only is he agreeing to Kay, his boss's wife, he actually suggested maybe he should R her too, to make it look like an S crime. And he said it more than once. Well, yeah, let me just R her. Let me just R her. This whole thing is demented, but this is taking it to another level. And then her husband's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want her to feel pain. Oh, okay, so smashing her head in with a hammer multiple times is not her feeling pain. And I also really love how when Darcy's spirit came back, that she did not try to hurt Yana, who was obviously a horrible person, but she just scared her away in order to protect her. I'm loving lately the influx of films that are characterizing DV as the horror films, the real life horror films that they are, showing that the most dangerous place a woman can be is actually sleeping next to her husband.